Hi everyone, I'm Federica, Activity Coordinator for the project Global Campus.
And I'm Dominic, the Vice Executive Director of Kopin and the Project Manager of Global Campus. Global Campus was a 3-year project that we implemented together with partners from Ireland, Cyprus and Austria. And we focused on development education on campus with university students, lecturers and staff and communities outside.
The project is an European co-funded project and it ran between January 2013 and December 2015. And together with the consortium of partners, we managed to reach more than 53,000 students overall. The project presented 3 main components: Inspire, Educate and Engage. Under the Inspire component, throughout the 3 years of the project, we managed to implement a total of 8 activities, ranging from a film festival, passing through a photo exhibition on campus, implementing Freshers' Week activities, as well as 2 world cafes at university canteen. A specific activity under the Inspire component was the video competition Give a Damn, Use That Can. And it was launched to give students the opportunity to express themselves freely and in a creative way about MDGs by producing a 2-minute-long video.
The winner, Bruce Michalefeino, produced what we thought was a brilliant video. It was called The League of the Millennium Development Goals Men, which you can find on YouTube. And as a first prize, we've sent him to Ethiopia to experience firsthand the project's activities on sustainable development we implement on the ground with our partners there.
Hi, my name's Bruce. I first heard of this video competition when I was at university. I saw a poster on the wall and it said, "Make a short 2-minute video inspired by the Millennium Development Goals that the UN wants to achieve by 2015. I thought, well, since it's the UN, which is the representative of the world, what I'll do is I'll have each continent represented by a superhero and have each superhero solving one of these problems." And so we went to Ethiopia, and it was a really eye-opening trip. We were there with 2 researchers, and we were collecting data for this study. We were taking the measurements of these children and the heights and weights. And we also went to the university where the lecturers gave a talk on biofuel. But we also got to experience the culture, the food, we met the people. I had a great time, and I hope that I see more competitions being organized and projects like these being organized by the University of Malta.
The second component of the project was called Educate, and together with our partners from the Degree Plus office here on campus, we provided a number of courses to students to learn about development education and development cooperation.
A number of different lecturers, activists and partners of Kopin looked into different topics related to global social justice, such as migration, development, gender rights and sustainability, and gave the students the opportunity to approach these topics from a very different points of view.
Hi, I am Claudine Cassar, and I am an art system student at the University of Malta. The Global Campus course has allowed me to broaden my knowledge both through discussion and interactive activities, such as creating quizzes for Freshers' Week and being involved in a 3-day seminar about globalized issues, such as migration and climate change. Thanks to Global Campus, I now have the ability to assess issues on a more holistic manner. If I had to sum the course up in 3 words, it would be inclusive, informative and fun.
Hello, my name is Ronald Sultana. I'm Professor of Sociology of Education at the University of Malta, where I also lead a comparative education program that takes me to a number of countries in the Arab world, including Palestine, as well as Gaza, Egypt, and several other countries, where I look at issues of equity and access to education in the developing world. I was privileged to contribute to Global Campus, and I spoke about education in the developing world with students from Malta and from other countries visiting us. I think it's absolutely crucial that Maltese students are exposed to notions of power and politics in relation to education in the global south, and to understand how international decisions made by agencies have an impact on developing countries.
My name is Johanna Wiest. I study African Studies in Germany, and I came to Malta to do an internship with the NGO Kopin. My impression of the Global Campus lecture series was that it actually really induces critical thinking. So for instance, coming from a European country, you would obviously have a very Eurocentric perspective of the world, although most people aren't even aware of that. And we really constitute a minority of the world. Another very interesting aspect was discussing the concept of development, which is a concept that is promoted and praised all over the world. But if you really think about it critically, you would find that it's not so desirable after all, if you think about the consequences that it has. Getting into these discussions was really interesting and very eye-opening for me, and I can just recommend taking part in the lecture series to any students.
My name is Marie Briguglio. I'm a lecturer at the University of Malta, and I mainly lecture on the topics of environmental economics, behavioral economics and social marketing. I gave a lecture during the Global Campus series related to campaigning for social change, and I informed this lecture by drawing upon literature from both behavioral science, that is, how to understand human behavior and possibly how to intervene to change such behaviors when they're problematic, and also from social marketing, that is, how to plan an intervention. I was very struck by the multiple nationalities in the class. That was very interesting for me, particularly because they brought to the class their own experiences of campaigns in which they had been involved. I was also struck by the fact that there were a few Maltese actually taking this class, and that for me speaks volumes to the need to conduct such courses and the importance of such courses for Maltese students.
My name is Raluca Colocel. I'm a Romanian living in Malta, and I work as a project officer for SOS Malta. My experience with Global Campus is wonderful. I've participated to 2 of their events, to the summer school and to the introductory course on international development. Both of them have been very interesting. I've managed to learn a lot of new things about topics that I'm interested in, such as migration, development, climate change. One of the most interesting things that I've learned was the connection between the 3 topics. And since I'm a migrant myself, it helped me a lot to understand many of the reasons why people actually decide to leave their homes. An idea about these important topics would be maybe to manage to include them in the official curriculum, because usually unless you really make an effort and manage to get yourself informed, you can't really get other chances to discuss about these topics.
I'm Denise Giorgio. I'm a student at the University of Malta, and I'm in my 3rd year of studies in international relations. I participated in the Global Campus project in 2 different areas. The first was a Degree Plus course, which is an extracurricular course in international development cooperation, which lasted for a semester and involved various lectures and guest speakers about different areas of development, so economic growth, economic development, funding. And the last session was group work, where we were given a project to manage and to fund, and we had to see how we would apply what we learned in practice. The second event was a series of migration and asylum talks, which involved a movie projection and guest speakers from UNHCR. As a whole, the project was very beneficial to students, especially in my field, international relations, and to inhabitants of small states like Malta, where we're affected by migration. I think the next step would be to raise more awareness and to continue investing in projects like this for the benefit of the student body.
The engaged component of the project featured the participation of a number of students and students' organizations in events aimed at raising awareness of the general public, but also of their peers, about sustainable development goals and global justice.
In fact, one of the key activities we had in that component was called Light the Way and was linked to the Sustainable Development Goals Summit held in New York City on the same day.
Hi, my name is Thea Buzatil.
And I'm Julia Saidon.
And we're members of the student organization called MIRSA, which caters to the needs of international relations students. We took part in an event called Light the Way, and the aim of this event was to promote the Sustainable Development Goals.
In fact, one of the main things that prompted us to take part was the fact that sustainable development is one of the main issues of our field in the present and for the future. So we participated with activities targeted towards young people, mostly based on the social media, such as posters that were frequently shared on Facebook with catchy slogans, and activities such as these to attract the attention of future generations, basically.
I think we felt inspired to take part because we feel like it's very important to teach people about why they should care about these issues, because these are the issues that are impacting the world now and will continue to impact the world for many generations in the future, unless everybody does something about them now. It was also a very fun experience for us, and it was quite a learning curve because we learned a lot about the issues at hand by taking part.
We believe the project was a great success nationally here on campus in Malta, but it was also an excellent partnership with the lead organization Suas in Ireland, as well as with our partners in Austria, namely Südwind, and Cyprus, which is CARDET. The cooperation over the last 3 years was a learning curve for us, and I think also for them. It was supported by an external evaluator, DP evaluation, and that made it even better for us in terms of learning about best ways to implement projects at the third educational level with students, with educators, and not just nationally, but also with international dimensions. Another important component of the project was the advocacy with decision makers, both here at the University of Malta and internationally, where we demand from them to provide more opportunities for students to engage in development actions and also in development education.
In fact, in 2014, halfway through the project, we launched an online petition for students, where they could ask decision makers at University of Malta to provide them with more opportunities for global learning at tertiary level.
And that petition features well into our future plans, because we don't intend to stop here, but continue working on campus together with our international partners to provide students with more opportunities related to development and social justice.